Saturday, Silvia here with the Spirituality Saturday Show. So if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to comment below. If you're just tuning in right now, we're going to be doing our usual live and interactive Saturday show. And guess what? Oh my, I hope that I'm going in the right place here, that I went live in the right place. I just got to wait a second. Yes, so maybe I went privately. Let me go and check here. Oh, okay. So, all right. So anything can happen because it is a live show. If you are here, let me know right now that you are here and that you can hear me and see me clearly. And yes. Okay. So in the chat area, there we go. Sometimes I've been known to broadcast privately, which means that no one's going to see me. So if you can see me right now, just let me know, and that would be super duper helpful. Okay, I'm going to step right into it and not worry about the tech side of it. I woke up this morning and I definitely thought to myself, hey, I'm really excited about doing the show, but there's so much happening around that I really don't know which topic. Hey, how's it going? I really don't know which topic to pick. If you've come here and you're like, is this Silvia? Did something change? Yes, I changed my hair. And that's it. That's all I'm going to talk about it. But anyways, I'm so grateful to be here. So when I woke up this morning, I was like, uh-oh, what am I going to talk about? Because there's a lot happening. And but I personally am feeling a lot of joy. Hi, Neil. Hi, Shelley. I'm personally feeling a lot of joy. I was feeling a bit guilty about feeling a lot of joy. I'm not going to hide that. And the reason being is because I also feel a lot of pain. Like I'm a sensitive person. I'm an empath, and maybe a lot of you are empaths out there too, or sensitive people. And I don't even think you need to be sensitive to sense the vibe out there right now. However, I knew I had to come on because it's part of who I am and my commitment to you. And I have some really interesting topics to talk about today. I've written them down, and I'm just coming off of doing a 7-day, it's actually a 30-day abundance challenge, but we have 7 videos. And I'm super inspired. Hi, James. I'm super inspired as to what came out of that challenge. So I'm going to talk about the challenge too, but before I do any of that, I took my dog out for a walk before going live because, of course, I don't want him waiting to go and relieve himself. So I went and took him for a walk. And on the way back, for the first time ever, I encountered a huge owl. And this owl had a huge wingspan, and the owl literally scared me. I don't think it meant to. I actually think I scared the owl. And so I thought to myself, this is a magical moment. This is a synchronicity. This is an opportunity. I don't see an owl every day. Hi, Angela. Hi, Karen. I don't see an owl every day. So I promptly went to my computer and typed in Google and what does it mean? And so I have it here for you. I'm going to share with you the meaning. And keep in mind that I just came off a 7-day abundance challenge video series. Okay, if you're in the abundance challenge, let me know as well in the comments. That would be great. So this is the meaning of the owl spirit animal. The owl is emblematic of deep connection with wisdom and intuition and knowledge. If you have an owl as a totem or a power animal, you're likely to have the ability to see what's usually hidden from most. When the spirit of this animal gives you or guides you, you can see true reality beyond illusion and deceit. The owl also offers those personally to be inspired and guided. And that has all this stuff. And then at the end it says, it also represents death. And then it continues to say, death can represent transformation. And that's exactly how I do feel right now. I feel like I'm going through a transformation. I feel like we're all going through a transformation. And I actually feel like I have so much joy inside of me that I want to share it with you. And gratitude and joy are not typical things that you feel when things feel out of control, or they feel unpredictable, or they feel unstable. So I recognize that, and I don't want to pretend like those things aren't happening and to be, like I've said before, Pollyanna. However, if there was ever a time to be grateful and joyful, it's now. And I really sat down in my chair while I was having my coffee at the time. I have one coffee in the morning, and I was thinking, what am I grateful for right now? And I was grateful for a lot of things. And without mentioning them here, I want you to think about what you were grateful for today, this morning. And you can, if it's hard for you to do that, I want you to look back 2 years when we didn't have all of what's going on right now, including having to wear masks, so on and so forth. So I want you to know that as soon as I mention the word COVID or masks or situations, that my video is going to be restricted and non-monetized, and I'm completely prepared and willing. I want to be of 100% service to you, authentic and honest and real. The reality is that in order for us to move through this, we're going to have to imagine a better day, week, month, year, reality, manifestation, universe. And in order to do that, it's going to require a group momentum, and it's going to require true connection. Hi, Daryl. True connection with your spirituality and your personal faith and your faith in yourself and creating from within. Okay, so yeah, that's a tall order, right? So if you are feeling any of those things that I just mentioned, it's natural. However, in order for us to recreate the dimension of and the vibration of beauty and joy and all of the positive things that you can think of, we are going to have to collectively do that together. And we are, yeah, new hair. We are empowered with the creative force within us to be able to do that. So we're going to do it. And I also want to talk a little bit about your New Year's resolutions as to what you're going to bring in for yourself in terms of manifesting and abundance and what you've decided to receive. So I learned through the manifestation challenge that a lot of people boiled it down to self-worth. And the way that we feel about ourselves renders a result of what we feel we deserve, what we feel we can create, and what level of abundance is in our lives. So that's a very interesting conclusion that we went through 7 phases. And there was the first phase of desires and wishes, and the second phase of review. Like, a lot of people want things and a lot of people desire things, but then they're acting, or they are being completely not aligned with that. Or maybe they are aligned, but oftentimes we would see that there was a misalignment. So, no, you're not late. We just started, Jim. And Daryl, good to see you. Amanda, good to see you. Okay, so we just started. We're going to be here for our regular Saturday morning interactive live chat where anything can happen, including God's spirit moving in this room and moving us all. So I really have so many things to say now. At first I thought, what am I going to tell? What am I going to say to the lovely people on my channel and who are joining me? Well, first of all, hi. And secondly, I absolutely love you. And together we have the power to transform the day, the week, the month, the hour, the year, the universe, and our reality. And that is the beauty of this day in this moment right now, is that you actually have it. And again, I just mentioned that Your level of power is also closely tied to your level of what you believe your self-worth is. And it's not going to be a discussion all about self-worth, but self-worth is not the same as self-importance. Not that there's anything wrong with feeling important. However, we will receive and we will manifest based on this inner feeling of self ability and self worth. So, first things first, let's work on that, right? Let's work on the fact that you were created in God's image, that you have the creative power within you, that the light is in you, and that your heart is a generator of energy, and that when you generate energy, it creates momentum, and when you create momentum, it starts to manifest. Jim says, I'd love it if you had one of those dreams and God and my mom and a message for me. Okay, well, I've never claimed to be able to have any psychic dreams. However, I did have a dream recently that was a little bit lower key, but I was walking along with an angel, and this time it was a male angel, and we were just talking. We were just talking about life, and we were talking about, and it was so good to be doing that. Now, Jim, I want to encourage you to have a dream of your mother. So before you go to sleep, what I do, is I ask to have that dream. But you absolutely must be willing to receive. And this is along the same lines what I'm talking about abundance. Willing to receive the message, receive the great day. Okay, sorry, misunderstood. Sorry, maybe I misunderstood. I'd love it if you had one of those dreams and God and my mom had a message for me. Right. Okay, first of all, I can speak with authority on one of those things. God does have a message for you, and that He wants you to be fully happy, joyful, and abundant. And I know that for a fact, and it's constantly raining on us in the most beautiful way. The question is, how much do you want to receive? How much do you want to receive, right? That's the thing. And I always refer back to my dreams where I've had the beautiful gift of connection with angels, with Jesus, and with God. And I'm learning, and I've learned that I can't feel disappointed anymore because I recognize what God wants for you and for me. So then someone promptly wrote on my channel, if this happened to you, you wouldn't feel that way, or if that happened to you, you wouldn't feel that way. First of all, I don't usually talk about the hurtful, dark things and experiences that I've had because they're not really in my consciousness anymore. However, many of those things have happened, and things will come. Things will come in the future that I will have to cope with. But right now, in this very moment, I have a choice. You have a choice. What'll it be? Who will we be? What will it be? What do we choose? What are we manifesting? It's all fine and well to say, I'm spiritual, I believe in abundance, I believe in manifestation. But when you disconnect yourself from the actual mechanism of being a creator, that's where the alignment is off, right? We need to connect ourselves as part of the creator, and understanding that if you want to dream of your mom, Jim, if you want a message from God, Jim, it's going to come straight from within you. It's not coming from me or anyone else, although it is possible in the realm of all possibilities. It's coming from you. There will be nothing more satisfying and convincing to you to actually experience it yourself. And if you earnestly and genuinely want that, with the deepest desire and the readiness to receive, it will happen. And I'll give you an example of that. I really wanted to dream about Jesus, right? And I kept having dreams of angels, and not that they weren't set. I absolutely love all of them. I communicated with God through my meditation, on and on. But that dream of Jesus eluded me. And lo and behold, the moment that I let it go and I wasn't thinking about it, I had that dream. So I do believe it is possible for us. I do believe that it's important for you to believe that it's possible for yourself. Because remember, the things that will happen to you are only limited by your limiting beliefs. So If you think I am going to or I'm not going to, then that is the initial state of activity that you're placing into it. So first things first, Jim, you're going to do this. You're going to dream of your mom and you're going to get a message from God, and it's going to happen from within and it's going to happen from you. And once you open yourself up to receive, like when I go to bed at night and I have these fantastic dreams, I just close my eyes. Sometimes I'll say, okay, guys, I need inspiration. And I need to have a dream that's going to inspire me. Sometimes I'll say, I need healing. Like maybe I feel exhausted and I ask for healing. And maybe I need insight and I'll ask for insight and it will come. And then sometimes I'm surprised and shocked by a dream that will just happen spontaneously and it will come to me. If it's happening to me, it can easily happen to you because I genuinely don't feel special at all with regards to that category. I feel like just like everyone else. But one thing I know I do is I believe 100% A, God exists, B, someone out there wants to help me and give me an answer, and that there are multiple dimensions. I'm going to grab some water right now. Just give me a sec. And I'm loving the comments that are coming in. So Aviatar, hello, Loretta, Jack, Angela, Holly, and everyone out there. Any questions that you have, you are authentically giving, and we love you. Thank you, Holly. Yeah, the thing is that one of my goals that I put down in the Abundance Challenge is that I wanted to tap into the spiritual movement within me. And I decided to start the Saturday YouTube interactive live show about spirituality as a result. And due to that commitment towards having the show and the discipline to show up every Saturday at 11, it's happening. And I'm growing as a result. I never anticipated that growth, but the growth is happening. The connection is happening. The love is being generated within me, within you, and it's reciprocating. Hi, Charlotte. Yeah, do I believe in multiple dimensions? Yes. And I have a strong feeling that when Jesus said, in my Father's house there are many mansions, that's exactly what he was talking about. He wasn't just talking about beautiful mansions that are available for us to live in. He was talking about that there are many dimensions of existence, beautiful dimensions of existence. Your name is originally a Hebrew name. Okay, so let's try this. Eviatar Bernat. I hope I said it good. Recently, I did my DNA and I found out that I came from that region. Well, not just me, but my ancestors. So, yeah. Anyhow, moving along, how do we make this moment, this day, this hour, this week, this month, this year, the best year ever, despite all of the things that we could potentially subscribe to, meaning what's happening? How are we going to, what part are we going to play? What role are we going to play in creating and manifesting the dimension right now? I don't need to tell you this. The scientists and the physicists already told you that 99% of an atom is empty and that this reality is not what it seems. So if this reality is not what it seems and it is a projection of our inner self outward, then can we do better than this? Yes, we can. How can we do it? Through gratitude, through creation, through belief systems, through developing your self-worth, developing the talents that were given to you from God, believing that God loves you, believing that you are created in His image and you have the power to create. That's how it's going to happen. That simple. And it requires that we take up our role as creators and start creating versus, I always want to be about positivity, but versus blaming, separation, yada yada. It's not going to work. None of that's going to work. It will all lead us to unity and God, because our success and our connection with God is inevitable. because that's what we are. So we need to kind of like get over that hump and understand that we're all united, all the same. And FYI, we reincarnate as different sexes, different nationalities, all that. So all that, we need to overcome that. We already are triumphing over that, regardless of what we believe or not. What we need to do now is to be able to live in joy and live our best life, to actually believe it's possible to create heaven on earth. Those are not just words. Heaven on earth. How is that? Are we waiting for somebody to do it? Because we know how to do it and we can do it. And yes, it is a bit of a struggle to get over all of the conditioning that we've told ourselves or that we've collectively told ourselves. We absolutely can do it. We can create heaven on earth. And if you think that heaven is somewhere else, I'm going to let you know there's that old saying, if it's on your shoe, and you know what I'm talking about, that that stink is going to go wherever you go. So regardless of whether you leave this life or you go to a different dimension or you go to a different planet or you go to you're bringing your same self there, your same vibration, your same existence. You're going to go where your vibration takes you. That's where you're going. So isn't it in your best interest to work on that vibration, to work on that God connection, to work on that who you are being in this reality here right now? If you think you're going to be saved by a different place and by a different reality and by a different person and by a different God, God's here right now, right in you right now. And the thing I think is difficult for us is trying to recognize that we have the power of creation within us and we're creating our reality as we go. We keep seeing it and going, that's not mine. That someone else did that. That's not mine. I certainly did not create that, but collectively we are doing that. And until we come to that recognizing point, that point where we can change it. I want to read some comments. Donna, Sylvia, thank you for bringing awareness to the subject. Love your show. Thank you, and God bless. God bless you too. God bless all of you. All right, and then who's the prophet of God? His dream comes true in real life. Right, true. Belinda Carlisle sang about that. Nice. Heaven on earth. Yes, she did. Okay. Now, I feel it's a lot about learning to trust the light which is inside of you. Yes. Trusting your light, having faith in yourself and your ability. I feel like if I could shout one thing on the mountaintops, this is what I would say. You have that power within you. You are worthy. It's happening right now. This is not a dress rehearsal. We're not waiting to go to a different place. Now it's happening. Jesus is here now. God's here now. Whatever you believe, it doesn't have to be a specific belief. You just, being human, you know that that light of creation is within you. It helps me to believe in Jesus and God, in the construct that I know, because it's leading me and guiding me to a way. But I don't want to limit anybody as to what they believe and the ability to create, because you see, I'm not worried that God's not in you. I know He is. I'm not worried about any different way that you think, because I know where we're all going. We are just in a period, place, and phase and stage and manifesting the state of being collectively as we are. And I feel like we can wake up to the higher state of being, and you know you'll be there when you feel joyful and creative and you feel self-worth and you know that you are responsible for what you're seeing. That's a real big one, being responsible for what you're seeing. People don't want to take responsibility and they don't want to take activity, generally speaking. I'm not saying maybe you do, maybe you are, that's why you're here, that's why you're on the show. But collectively speaking, yes. James, if reincarnation is real, then when we come to a full realization of all the things you're talking about, you're not coming back here, but moving on to someplace else. James, I've got something stunning to tell you. You're not even where you think you are. That's the thing. We think we are in a place and point in time that's tangible and concrete. But remember, I'm not telling you this. Physics is telling you this. It's not what it seems. So you are in a vibratory state, a dimension created in God's universe, in our universe. You are exactly where you are supposed to be based on who you are choosing to be. Massive responsibility, massive creative power, massive, like, talk about if you can get your head wrapped around that, amazing. And most people want to stay living in a state of emergency, in a state of panic, in a state of poverty, in a state. Why? Well, partly because we've all convinced ourselves continually, we have that message floating around that we're not able, not capable. I don't even want to talk about that. You are capable. If I'm going to tell you anything off the mountaintop, that's what I'm going to tell you, is that it's happening, it's here, it's now. You don't need to go anywhere. That you can transmute and transform and manifest heaven right here on earth if you choose to do so. Now, it might seem like you're a salmon swimming upstream if you don't have the collective environment around you helping you along the way, but let me assure you, it will happen. It will absolutely happen. It's taken a little while. Yeah, drop the mic. Boom. Yes, girl. Love your hair today, Sylvia. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't like to talk about so many things about why I want to change, but I want to feel I just feel an overwhelming sense of joy and positivity and enlightenment. It's not that I don't get sad for a moment. It's not that I don't, get caught up in the wave of illusion that we are powerless, because it's not true. I'm not going to believe it. I absolutely know it's not true. And so, therefore, I need to speak about the truth within me and to share it with you. And it's in within you too. Like, I see you as a reflection of myself. I see you as a reflection of God. Because really, if we're anything, if we can move, talk, be, love, experience anything, it's because of that creative power and that spark of light in our soul that God gave us, right? Same with the planets, same with the universe, everything. So to say I'm scared in the middle of the womb of creation of God, I'm sitting in God's arms and body and womb and everything. To say I'm scared or to even think I can control anything is, you know, it's kind of ridiculous because I'm sitting right inside of God's heart and being. And what I really need to do is recognize, what we really need to do is recognize who we are and then take it up and act as though we're children of God and use that empowerment to empower. Now, we're not going to put our will upon anyone else. We're not going to make anyone else be like anyone else. We're not going to make someone follow our particular thought or belief system. We're not going to force our will onto people. No, that's not the idea. We're going to emanate and be the most amazing beings that we could possibly be, despite and regardless of anything that any other doubt that's around you. And when you do that, you become the best version of yourself. And not just yourself. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. You just are filled with what I believe to be as the Holy Spirit. You're filled with God and faith, and you know. Now, some things are going to happen that are going to instigate doubt. Like, you know what we're famous at doing? You know what humans are famous at doing? Let me tell you. We do things like this. We know very well that there's a beginning and an end to this experience. Like, we never die, okay? Let's get this straight. If you're here, you're going to believe that, or you do believe that. Let's make the assumption. But we also make this assumption that this experience is never going to have an end, like we're never going to die. So somebody dies, and I'm not being insensitive, okay? If you just lost someone, believe me, when I lose my loved ones, I'm grieving. However, we act as though it was never supposed to happen. That's part of the whole thing. That's part of existence, is death and renewal, death and renewal, death and renewal. And that is part of growth, and that is part of the whole plan. And so if somebody goes, I mean, when I pass away, I might not know exactly where I'm going, but I know exactly who I am, and I know exactly what I want to gravitate towards me and emanate outwardly. I know that for certain. And I also know that God loves me, and therefore, wherever I get to, it's going to be a good place for me and you. Wherever you get to, it's going to be the perfect place. The point is not worrying about where we're going, but where we're at right now and who we are being and what we're creating for ourselves and everybody around us. Okay. All right, so Jim says, your and other NDE videos have helped me realize more that God is love and taken some of the fear. Yeah. Oh man, that's so good that you just said that. No fear. Like, if anybody wants good for you, it's God. And that's because he's our he, she, whatever you want to name it, God, not it, loves us so much. I mean, you literally can have a conversation with God within yourself. You can get off of this live stream and start communicating, because you're going to realize that God lives within you, knows all the things you've done or not done, still loves you, understands, forgives you, and it's you that has to learn to love everyone and forgive everyone, because a lot of people have done imperfect actions due to the fact that they have lost sight of who they are, and therefore you, like, we got a little cycle going on. It's not the most positive cycle. We got to get out of that cycle because it's creating a vibration that's not bringing in the most positive things. So we've got to create that. Who's going to do? Okay, so if it's not us, who's going to do it? And the first answer you probably want to say is God. So if God said we're created in his image, her image, and God lives inside of us, whose responsibility is it to get into it and assume the role of child of God? Ours. And God is the creator of all things. So if I tell you that, do you think, well, you're crazy? That's not what we do. Well, look what we've done so far. We seem to we seem to be doing a lot of things here on earth, and lots of it is good. If you're ever wondering what your future is, look no further than yourself. Look no further than within. Okay, I'm gonna read some comments. Oh yeah, what a relief. Yes. Toby says, lost sight of who we are. The world is on fire. Yes, and we lost sight of who we are. Right, right. So we need to understand that the things that we're observing right now are a manifestation of what we believe to be true, our worth, our state, our condition of what it is, okay? It's going to take a very dedicated individual to be receptive to the information that transformation can happen through your being, through the way that you're being. You might say, what are you talking about? I gotta be a certain way. Yes, today I'm being positive because that's genuinely how I feel, but I'm showing up like this. How are you showing up? How are you showing up for the world, for the universe? What are you manifesting currently? This is not a challenge. I already did the abundance challenge, but my question is truly, how are you showing up for people, for yourself? Are you nurturing yourself? Are you caring for yourself? Or are you scaring yourself? And are you subscribing to that vibration? See, you can't outwit the universe. You cannot outwit the universe, because the universe, hopefully you're sitting for this, but the universe is a reflection of yourself. So you can't lie to yourself. You know exactly what's happening. So in order to have the truth, you have to be vibrating the truth. If you know that this is not the best state that we can be in, then start vibrating at the best state that you can be in and taking up the role of child of God. All right. Wayne Dyer said, there's an old German proverb that says, fear makes the wolf bigger than what he is. Yes. Okay, let me tell you. This is a funny story. So when my great grandma, when record players came out, my great grandma thought that that was the work of the devil. She said, you know, I think my grandma put a record on, and my great grandma said, get that out of the house. That's the work of the devil. So that was an illusion that someone had of a perception because it was a new reality and a new dimension of existence through the sound, through the vibration. That's a perfect example because music is of a vibration. Where was this music coming from? Why was this disc going around on a table and music was coming out? Uh, sounds like a strange thing to say, but we think that something isn't real or is very foreign to us. We don't trust it when we first start to delve into a new dimension and a new realm. I know I'm going places with you guys. I'm really sharing something deep here, but I think the time is now. The time now is to be grateful, to be alive, and to exist. Secondly, to take responsibility of who you are, child of God. Third, to take charge of the vibration that you're creating collectively with everyone. Don't blame. It's all about you. We're not blaming nobody. We're not saying so-and-so is doing this, do that. No. By being the most amazing vibration, by being the best person you can, you shift. I wanted to say, you shift reality. You shift people, reality, the vibration in the room. You are influential beyond belief. By being You are being influential. By being influential, you're creating momentum. Momentum works for you and starts to create abundance in the form, in the shape of the disciplined thought that you believe. Boom. Okay, another mic drop. Toby, yeah, it's it's all Sylvia's fault. Sure, sure. If you want, I'll be a scapegoat. Hi, Sylvia. Great quote. Okay. Catherine, that was Alyssa. Catherine, one day I had a thought. Hey, maybe God is us. Yeah. One of the near-death experiencers quoted a song. What if God was like us? I'm going to tell you, no doubt about it. Hi, Carrie Thompson. No doubt about it that God's right here, right now. None. I mean, we would, let me put this to us straight. We would be very pompous to believe that we were responsible for our life. I mean, God is responsible for giving us light and love and energy. This unifying force that's within all of us, regardless of your female, male, religion, sex, whatever. It's all in us. That's animating us. If you know what the word animate means, it means for the soul to come alive. Anima in Latin, I believe if I got my Latin right, is soul. To animate is soul alive. We are animated with the Spirit of God, and therefore everything we do. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do? We need to just recognize that first. A, number one, recognize who you are. B, start acting and being like who you are. C, understand your power beyond belief. D, there are angels and guides out there ready to help you. Just call out on it. Ask for bigger things. Ask for abundance. Ask for love. Ask for wisdom. Ask for peace. Ask for joy. Ask for those real big asks, and it will come because the questions and the things you ask for become manifest. However, the reverse is true too. And I don't need to tell you that that's not good because you see, that power of creation is in flow and in flux, and it doesn't judge, and it doesn't judge. If you want to go in the wrong direction, it just allows you to go in the wrong direction. If you want to go there, you have the power. You see, because God is not judging us, He's just giving us our ability to exist and to create. So, what do you want to create? What are we doing here? Let's do this. Okay, Shelly G, the room moderator, good friend, and big supporter of the channel, says, ask and you shall receive. Bible verse. Yes. I want people to know this, that I absolutely love Bible verses and all that, but you don't have to belong to a specific religion to love God and to be part of the transmutation of this vibration today. You just have to be a genuinely authentic person, wishing and desiring the very best for yourself and others. FYI, by being the best version of yourself by being an example is the best thing you could ever do. You don't have to go out and do 5,000 things outside of yourself, although it's nice to be charitable in those ways. Simply be the best person you can. And that means all the time, not some of the time, not just when you're being watched, all of the time. That time when you're driving and you have the choice to take a parking spot or be generous and say, hey, go ahead. Or the time, you have to be willing to be the change. Okay. Carrie Thompson, our conscience will tell us if we're messing up or hurting others. Yeah, for sure. And the thing is that sometimes I think we've even lost touch with that. Silence and giving ourselves. That's why prayer and meditation is so good. It's not because, if you pray and meditate, you're going to be with God and be good and go to heaven. No. Pray and meditate because that's your connection with the source. It's like plugging in to the eternal power of intelligence, wisdom, love, energy. Plug in because of that. If you can't find 5 minutes to plug in to the universal source of energy of God, then that is just a telltale sign of what's to come. You don't have to go to a psychic to see that one. Yes, be charged. We want to be charged. Spend time communing with God. And where you can find God real easily is in nature. Nature is just like when you look at a tree, there are different types of trees, but when you look at a tree and the branches, they are praising God. They're manifesting God right there. Like, yeah, go to nature and you're going to feel the vibe. All right, so I am feeling really excited. Pat Murphy said, yes, God is in us, our soul, at the center of our soul. Yeah, it is. So now that we know that, what are we going to do about it? That's the question. Now that we're all like into it, what are you going to believe? Are you going to believe the illusion? Or are you going to create a reality based on the truth? That we are children of God, that we have the full power of creation within us, and that everything you see is what you created. It's not like, I'm going to learn how to create. No, you're doing it right now. The fact is, what are you creating is the question. Are you sitting on the sidelines? Are you showing up strong? What are you doing? And wherever you go after this, you're going to go to like a million zillion places because your life is eternal. I wouldn't worry about it. I would just concern myself today with being the vibration of love. You said, well, Silvia, are you in touch like with reality? I got bills to pay. I got things to do. I have those things too. And those things are part of existing in this plane of existence that we have manifested for ourselves. And absolutely, we have to be practical in doing those things. Simultaneously, we have to be open to the vibration and the power of God and not limit ourselves to a small little box of existence of that's all we've got. See, what we did is we shortchanged ourselves. We believed that we're actually this life that we're living, but we are eternal, and this life is an experience, and how will you experience it? And since you're the creator of this experience, now I'm not saying there's not divine intervention, and I'm not saying that there's not karma, though all those things are coming into play, but all karma is vibration. What you're carrying around with you. What's that luggage you're carrying with you? That's your karma luggage. Whatever you believe in that karma, it's not like someone said, you were bad, here's your karma, lump it on. No, you did it yourself. I hope that wasn't too audacious, but you're carrying the load that you want to carry because you said, believed certain things, and now it's loading on with you, and it's a heavy weight. I recognize some people here who are in the challenge. Maria said, just listen to the birds praising in the joy of the daybreak. You know what, Maria? Not to be all like, but that's what I did today. When I was walking my dog, just before I got scared by a massive owl, I was listening to the birds and I was thinking, gosh, they're so beautiful. Even in this world, in the state that we imagine, that illusion, some people call Maya, I guess, birds are still chirping and birds are still laying eggs and being born, and we're still here. And, we gotta, that sounds again Pollyanna, but honestly, those are the things that bring joy. And the fact that creation is alive and things are still going, so there's way more things going right than wrong. And we need to see that in order to push the momentum into the positive. You, me, together, collectively, are responsible for the collective vision that we're seeing. I could, in my own little house and room, be as positive and have as big of a vision as possible. But I'm asking you to join me today. And I'm going to wrap this up. I'm asking you to join me today to absolutely recognize God in you and the power of creation and the power of the Holy Spirit in you to create the reality you want, to be kind, to be not kind because you have to, but because it's amazing to be your best self. Nobody can ever take advantage of you. No one can ever take away your worth, even though they might try. Can't happen because this was guaranteed by God. Doesn't go anywhere. Now you can choose to think otherwise. But anyhow, that's it. That's all. That's all I got for you today. And yeah, the people who are in the 30-day abundance challenge, day 7 video is up. The video portion is over. Now we're going to go live and we are going to actually start seeing each other in Zoom and talking in Zoom, and you get to tell me what's working for you and what's not working for you, and we can together consolidate and adjust so that you are manifesting your best life, your best life. Be your best self. Talk to you soon. Love you all. See you next Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. See you then.